Welcome back, guys. For you petrol heads, this might not necessarily be the video for you, because we are going to go full electric, a complete green energy. Now if it's green or not, you tell me, because that electricity has to come from somewhere, but we won't go into that. The car is electric, it is green, but it has a different driving style that you're going to need to have. It's not the traditional fuel saving that you would do with fossil fuels. There is a different way you have to manage the battery to make it last. I'm going to give you some tips when we get into the actual race, so do stay tuned to the whole video, and I will tell you all about the electricity and how you can regen and save battery as well. Before we do get into that, as always, I'm going to take this moment to just drop the usual appeal. If you haven't done so, please press that like button and tell me in the comments what you think and how you've adapted to this driving style for this car down in the comments below. And also, if you do feel generous enough, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help the channel out a whole of a lot more than you can imagine. So let's get into it and we'll go through it. Now, as always, the first thing you're going to need to do if you don't own this car yet is you're going to need to go and purchase it. It's not cheap, but you go over to Brand Central into Europe, go into Germany, over to the right and select Audi. Once you've done that, just pop into the showroom and scroll again all the way to the right, not quite, just before the new DTM, and you're going to find the e-tron Audi. Now don't get confused for the VGT, the standard one. This is the e-tron, the electric version. And once you've got it, you need to go to the tuning shop, and there's a couple of things that you're going to need to get. Not a whole of a lot that you're going to need, and you're going to need to get the power restrictor. Now in this video you're going to see me getting the ballast, but the ballast, you do not need it, so don't buy the ballast. It's not needed for this build because the car is already, as you can see, it is quite heavy, and that is to do with the batteries itself. So that's going to give you a lot of stability. Then you're also going to need to purchase the racing hard tyres, and that's the only tyre you're going to need for this race. So once you've done that, pop over to the garage, and it's just a very simple tune that you need to make. Once you go in there, make sure you selected the racing hard tyres. You then need to put your output adjustment to 90%, and you're going to put your power restrictor to 90%. That is it. No more tuning. You're going to go straight out of the box with those couple of changes. And then once you do that, if you don't know how to do this bit yet, find the track, go into World Circuits, into Europe, Circuit de la Sarthe. Once you've found it, just pop over into the World Touring Car 800, and you're going to press enter to enter the race. And again, it's just going to say that you can only use those tyres because that's the only tyres you're going to need anyway in this race, and that just gives you more of the PP points. Now when you get to the race, this is where I'm going to try and explain about the electric. As you see there, I'm trying to find where the fuel map is, and you can't find it because this is going to be your most important part of trying to fuel save. You've got the traditional fuel gauge, but it's an electric one, and as you can see in there, you've got two little triangles, a red one that's on the screen at the moment, and you're going to see at some point now it's going to go to green. Now what that is doing, the red, very simple, as you're on the accelerator, you're using battery and it's going red. Very simple, that bit. Now with it going green, what it does, it actually charges your battery back up. So when you lift and coast, you're not using fuel. This is kind of in a way very similar. You're lifting, but what it's doing is actually regenerating the battery. So when you hit the brakes, the heat that is made from that braking goes back into recharging. A bit of a different concept. So you've got to do a lot of lifting and coasting. But that, as you'll see throughout the race, is not really a bad thing, because I'm going to get considerably quicker as the race goes on versus how I started. And considering you've got to factor in the tyres are going to wear, is actually quite impressive. So the more you do it with this car, the better it's going to be. As you can see, I'm not really trying to push the AI too much. And another thing I've done as well, I've set the AI to hard. Now it might be tempted to go with easy because it will mean that the cars are a bit slower, but it holds you back, so you're going to be losing more time by having an easier setting. So I've gone with hard, and that allows me to have more breathing space between each overtake. Just that's basically it. When you get to lap 4, you're going to realise the leaders are going to start to go in. We're not in first place at the moment, but again, don't worry about that. So we're currently 4th, going into 3rd, and we've still got enough electricity to go into the next lap. Now lap 5 is when, end of lap 5 is when you're going to go into the pits, and key thing here, you do not need to change your tyres. Those tyres are going to be absolutely fine to the end of the race. And then once you're there, it's going to recharge the car, get your full battery, and then you're going to go back out on track. Now when you come out on track, just be very careful, because the AI are like loose cannons, so just be careful when you're coming out. And again, don't be scared or worried that you're not in the lead of the race, because in my situation, I got to the lead of the race in lap 7. It was lap 7 when I actually took the lead. But if you look at my lap times, I've got 42, 39, 37. The AI, again, I mean, this guy was a bit of a naughty bugger, but once you get past them, look at the amount of free track that you have ahead of you, and that's just going to allow you to get quicker lap times. Lap 10, as you can see, got a 38 and a 37. Going to pits again, do not need to change your tyres. I can't emphasise that enough. It will lose you time if you change your tyres, and you don't need to do that. But you can use it if you want, it's up to you. But get the fuel recharged, or the battery recharged, not the fuel. And as you can see, by this point, I'm 37 seconds ahead of P2, and they're already going into the pits. So Tishney's going into pits in P2, and we're miles ahead of them. Now, as you come into the end of the race, look at this. My lap times are very consistent: 37.5, 37.6, 37.7. And considering the tyres are completely bald at the front, nearly, that's actually really good time. As you can see, when we cross the line, it's going to briefly flash purple. So we've got it even quicker, and that was our best lap of the race, with the last lap. So there you have it. P1 in 25.35, 25 minutes 35 seconds, 0.418. And that we got a clean race bonus as well. So there you have it. It's an electric car. The driving style is completely different, but I'll tell you what, I had a whole load of fun driving this car. It is completely amazing that an electric car can actually be almost as good as a combustion engine car. But tell me what you think. In real life, do you actually like electric cars, or do you want cars to just continue being petrol and diesel going forward? And tell me in the comments down below what you think of this car as well in this race. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you can, and also before you go, do check out these 2 videos that I'm going to leave here for you, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later. Chunky out. Bye.